Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I'm here today with my November media haul. So this is basically everything else that I grabbed in the month of November when it comes to media, and oh boy, November was a crazy month. So like, as you guys know, Black Friday essentially started, the first week of November, and then just continued all the way through like Cyber Monday. I think I have one thing here from Cyber Monday even, and so it was just a long, wonderful month of buying media. And so this stack here is actually 35 items deep, and I am just really thrilled with the things I was able to pick up. And I'll mention it right now, my budget kind of went out the window for November and December. I just said, you know what, don't worry about it. You've earned it. The last like 4 months prior, I've met my goal, so who cares? Just go to town, have fun. And so, yeah, there's a lot of things here, and I am very thrilled with how I ended up. So cannot wait to share with you guys everything I grabbed. I have collectibles that we'll start with, and then I'll talk about a couple of video games I grabbed, and then we'll wrap it up with DVDs, Blu-rays, and finally 4K items. And so tons of great stuff, and I cannot wait to share with you guys what I grabbed in November. So if you're excited about this video though, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my November media haul. I hate giving disclaimers like this, but I just want to say, like, I'm not feeling that well right now, and even just doing the intro to this video kind of took it out of me. So I apologize if this isn't as like high-spirited or as high energy as I intend it to be. But anyway, here, let's start with some pop figures. So this was a line that was actually in the clearance bin at not FYE. It was Second and Charles when I went there. My mom and I ended up going there one day randomly in the month of November, and we came across this incredible bin full of these style of Funko Pops. So this is, as you can see, the Joker as Santa Claus, which is just fantastic. Like, I am not one that does holiday themed things, but these were like $3 a pop. They were insanely cheap. So I grabbed the Joker, which looks really good, as Santa, I should say. And then I grabbed Harley Quinn with Helper, as you can see there, which is just awesome. She looks great as well. Gotta love Harley Quinn. And then the creme de la creme, we have Batman as Ebenezer Scrooge with the candle and everything. I love the hat. Oh, it's just perfect. I love this. And I'm going to show the back here real quick. You can see there are others. They didn't have any of the other ones. Otherwise, I would have grabbed them because, like I said, these were on clearance for about $3. And the best part about this was normally when they're on clearance at Second and Charles, they have these gaudy stickers on them that just will not come off. Like my Lost figures up there still have remnants of stickers on them. They look terrible. I'm going to take those out of the boxes, frankly. But this one had a really easy to peel off sticker, even though it was on the clearance bin. So yeah, very excited that I was able to find these random holiday themed pop figures from the Marvel, or from the DC line rather. So yeah, just really cool finds. I'm going to display them all year because who cares? But awesome, especially now that it's Christmas time. Like, a really cool find. So those were the 3 collectibles that I ended up picking up last month. Okay, so now let's talk some video games, and both of these were Black Friday hauls. So the first one here is a game that I have been hearing just incredible things about, and this is the next game I'm going to play. Either this one, or I'm debating between this and Spider-Man, but I'm leaning toward this. This is Guardians of the Galaxy, and I ended up grabbing it on PlayStation 5. As you guys know, I picked up a PS5 in, I guess it was October now, and so yeah, I figured this would be a good excuse to play the PS5, which I actually will talk about my PS5 more in, I don't know, probably my top 5 video games I played for the first time this year, because I just played Ratchet and Clank, which was a blast. And so I will continue with my PS5 with Guardians of the Galaxy very soon. Cannot wait to play this one. Like I said, heard amazing things, and it just looks like a heck of a lot of fun. So yeah, from Square Enix, we have Guardians of the Galaxy on PlayStation 5. And then the other one, I went back to my home console, my baby, my Xbox Series X. This is Mass Effect, and this is the Legendary Edition. So this has the first 3 Mass Effect games in it. And I'll be honest, like, I've owned Mass Effect 1 through 3 for the longest time on my original Xbox 360. I own whatever the 4th one's called. I can't even think of it offhand right now, but I own that one. I bought that like when it was super cheap on Xbox One, but I've never played them. That's a lie. I did play the first one for about 25 minutes. I couldn't figure out how to like exit the first spot. And I just never went back to it. I was actually working at GameStop at the time, and this was many years ago, like when it was new, the first one. I was working at GameStop, and I had made the mistake of telling them that I couldn't figure out how to get out of the first area. And oh boy, I just got ridiculed for the next like 2 years I worked there. It was a stupid mistake for me to mention anything. But yeah, so anyway, I need to go back to it. Clearly, there's just a path that I missed, and so I hopefully will find that this time around and see what this is all about, because I've heard nothing but incredible things about the Mass Effect series. So really excited to finally, truly dive into this series on the Xbox. Okay, so let's move over to the DVDs now, and the first stack here is all used DVDs that I grabbed from Disc Replay. Actually, I think the last one is from Second and Charles, but you'll see it when I get to it. But this one here is, I grabbed a couple UFC DVDs, so I guess I'll show these at the same time. We have UFC 56 Full Force with Matt Hughes versus Joe Riggs, and then UFC 65 Bad Intentions, and this one is Silva versus Monson, who I don't recognize Monson at all. But yeah, so this one should be interesting. This also has Hughes versus St. Pierre that I do recognize. So hopefully these will be two good ones. As I've talked about recently, I'm just trying to add as many of these as I can when I find them at Disc Replay, because they're so cheap, like, $1 or whatever it is, $1.50, $1.60. And so I'll add them whenever I'm there. So I ended up grabbing two UFC DVDs, number 56 and 65. I'm just going to continue on here because this is sort of similar, I guess. But this is actually a total nonstop action wrestling DVD of Sting. And this one is called Return of an Icon. So I love Sting. He's one of the greatest of all time, of course, still killing it in AEW amazingly. Like, it's just insane. His age and what he's still doing in AEW, kind of helping the young guys, and how he can still turn it on in the ring is remarkable. But anyway, I digress. The pro wrestling talk aside. Yes, this is filled with a bunch of matches, and so I'm very excited for this one. I don't know if there is actually a documentary on this or not, or if it's just, I guess there's in-depth interviews with the Man in Black about his career, so there might be something short on this, but it's mostly for the matches. So some old TNA Sting is always fun, so I grabbed this one on DVD. You know what? Let's just keep going. Why not? We have Young Guns here on DVD. So this is cool too. I didn't even realize this. It opens up. Oh, look at that. Awesome. So I actually found Young Guns 2 on DVD from the thrift store, I don't know, a few months ago, but I could never find the original. And so I finally was able to see this one was there, has this awesome slipcover as I just showed. So I figured I would pick it up. Like I always say with Disc Replay, it is buy 3, get 3 free. So it's like $10 for 6 DVDs, which is a really good deal. So I always get them in, whatever, intervals of 6. Is that the word I'm looking for? Whatever. The next one here is the Sasquatch Gang, which this stickers, I could have opened this. This is actually brand new, so that's always cool. But I had to get this because look at Justin Long in this. He looks amazing with his mullet. This just looks like so stupid, but fantastic at the same time. It's a fantasy/sci-fi aficionado. Gavin ventures into the woods. He stumbles onto some mammoth footprints, so they're going to come in contact with a Sasquatch. Like, yes, please. This sounds fantastic. I love the cast. What's not to like here? I'm very intrigued. I don't know how I'd never heard of the Sasquatch Gang before, but I hadn't. One I have heard of, though, and one that is like so just nostalgic to me, even though I've never seen it before. But this is Kurt Russell in Breakdown. So first off, let me say, yes, I know that Paramount released this on Blu-ray recently, but it's still like over $20. This cost me $1.65. I want to see the movie first. If I love it, then I will upgrade to the Blu-ray. But this is one, when I was going to Blockbuster way back when I was young, I think it might have been even VHS at that time, or it could have been on DVDs. I don't remember exactly. But either way, this one I always wanted to see, but it was always checked out. I'm sure it was one that just ended up getting stolen and they just forgot to take the cover off the shelf. But I really wanted to see this. I think at one point it was there, but I wasn't old enough to rent it. Like my mom wouldn't let me get it or whatever. But yeah, when I came across this, I've been looking for this for so long and I just haven't been able to find it. I was actually at a different Disc Replay for these and they happened to have it. So I knew I was going home with it because this is a movie that I just have to see. I don't really know too much what it's about. I think like they end up breaking down in their car and then this trucker or somebody comes in, like takes either the wife or him to the idea is to take him to a gas station, I believe, or to help them in some way. And then the wife goes missing or the husband goes missing, one of the two. So yeah, just so excited that I was able to find this and I'm watching this one ASAP because this is really cool. So Breakdown is the last one I grabbed from Disc Replay. And then the last used one I got was actually from Second and Charles. So this is The Others with Nicole Kidman. I'll admit to you, I don't love this movie, but I ended up selling it, I don't know, years ago for some reason, and I was disappointed by that. My buddy was actually talking about it on Twitter, mentioning that the Blu-ray is out of print. And so, I said to myself, you know what? If I can't find it on Blu-ray, I'm seeing it right here on DVD now, like, pick it up. It was really cheap, so why not grab it just to have it in my collection so I have access to it in case I decide down the road I want to give it another shot. And so I ended up grabbing it again on DVD. And this is a cool one because it's one of those thick ones. So there's actually, you see, like, double-sided here, kind of like the Abyss one I showed, I don't know, in a recent haul. But yeah, this is the exact case I had when I had my old one. So happy to add this one back to the collection, even though I don't know why I don't love this movie. I really should, because it's my type of film, but it just never did it for me. So anyway, I'll check this out again at some point, give it like a fourth chance. I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, so The Others with Nicole Kidman, and that's the last used DVD I grabbed. So I'm going to take a break and move over to the new DVDs I picked up. So this new DVD is one of only 2 that I didn't get from a Black Friday sale that I'm about to show you. But this is the Rugrats Trilogy Movie Collection. So we have Rugrats Movie, the original one, Rugrats in Paris, the movie, and then Rugrats Go Wild. So this is only $5 at Walmart, which I'm not going to talk about prices on the rest of these probably, but I just remember this one because it stuck with me that it was only $5 for these 3 on DVD. And this is such a good series. Like, I was watching this the other day again with my daughter. It's on Hulu, I think it is. Hulu or HBO, I don't know, some streaming service. And it's just a genuinely funny series. I really enjoy it. I always have. It's one of my favorites growing up. And so to now have all 3 of the movies, and they're all presented in widescreen. I think 2 of the 3 also have a full screen presentation, but who's watching that? Nobody. And so, yeah, I'm just very excited to find this one because I love these movies, and it was so cheap for the 3 films on these DVDs. So I don't know how many DVDs are in here, but I do feel more than one, like, moving around. So there's got to be at least a couple. But yeah, just a really cool find, and you can probably still get this at Walmart if you're interested. So the first one I grabbed was on DVD that was new, was not part of Black Friday, but these next couple here are, and actually you can still see the sticker on it, the promo sticker from Walmart, which Walmart was pretty much garbage this year for Black Friday, as pretty much everyone will tell you, but I did grab a few things. So you guys know I've been on a bit of a Scooby kick this year, and so I figured I would grab this for super cheap. This is Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, which Courage the Cowardly Dog is a TV series that I think is really, really good, but I have not watched nearly enough of it. It's just one of those really good animated shows that demands more of my attention than I've given it, and so I do want to check that out in full at some point, but for now, at least I have him meeting Scooby-Doo, so that one will be a ton of fun. I'm hoping I can get that promo sticker off the slipcover because I want to, have the slipcase, but we'll see. And then the other Scooby-Doo movie I grabbed was this other one from Walmart. This is the Sword and the Scoob original movie. So this one just looks fun. It's obviously going to be Scooby in a fantasy setting, so yeah, that just sounds like a good time. This is actually a relatively new one also. I want to say, like, this may have come out last year. I'm not finding a year real quick on here, but yeah, I don't think this one is too old. Yeah, I don't see a year. I remember this one being relatively new. This one, actually, I believe is like brand new. I want to say, 2021 on this one. So this is brand new. I want to say this is 2020, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, and then the last one I grabbed from Walmart, like, my buddy sent me this picture and I was like, oh, I don't need that. I probably have most of those already. Then I looked, when I got there, I actually looked on the back. I only owned one of these previously. This is an Eddie Murphy 14 film collection. Like, how cool is this? And the price was really good. So you can see all the films listed there. Feel free to pause, but I'm going to try to read some of them off here. 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, Coming to America, Dreamgirls, The Golden Child, Best Defense, Beverly Hills Cop Trilogy, all 3 of them, Boomerang, Vampire in Brooklyn, Norbit, Trading Places, and then the only one I owned on there was Harlem Nights, and I found that one at the thrift store, so paying 50 cents for it previously and then double dipping in here is not that big of a deal. So I can just end up trading that one away. But just an awesome set of films, ones that I really need to see. Like, I've never seen Coming to America. I know I've seen parts of the Beverly Hills Cop trilogy, but I've never sat down and watched one from start to finish before. My mom used to really like those though, so they were on in the background when I was younger. But yeah, just a fantastic set of films. So I figured, you know what? Grab it. Why not? I love these big packs like this because it is a safe space, what am I trying to say? A space saver, which really, like, that's what matters most to me nowadays because I'm running out of space. I'm actually looking at grabbing a couple more, or actually my first 2 Billy bookcases from IKEA because of the Inherited movie collection. Those will pretty much fill up. I'm estimating about 600 DVDs to fit in 2 IKEA Billy bookshelves. And so that'll fit that, but I'm still going to need some more space for everything else I have. But in the meantime, I'll stick with those. But anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Eddie Murphy 14 film collection, one of the cooler finds that I was able to pick up from Walmart. So the only other non-Black Friday item I grabbed from new DVDs is this one here. Speaking of Courage the Cowardly Dog, this was around the same era. This is Cat Dog, and Rugrats, I guess, was the same era as well, because I want to say Courage was maybe a couple years after both of these, and that was on Cartoon Network, whereas Cat Dog and Rugrats, of course, were Nickelodeon series that I just loved growing up. But this is the complete series, and I ended up finding this, as you can see, from FYE. This one is a little bit more difficult to find online, at least it was when I picked it up. Maybe it's back in stock now, I don't know, but this is a series that I absolutely love. It is literally a cat dog. They are connected as one being, and it is so funny. It's kind of like a Felix and Oscar thing from The Odd Couple, except done in a cat dog format. It's such good, like, animation, such a good show, and so really excited to revisit this. This was just a favorite when I was younger, and so my sister, I know, is a big fan of this as well, so I'm sure she'll probably borrow this at some point, but just an awesome series from Nickelodeon. And I have 2 more on DVD. I'm just going to keep going here. This one is one of my favorite series ever. We actually were watching most of this on Hulu, I believe it was on, but we ended up stopping. We watched so much of it, we just kind of got done with it for a while, but I do need to finish like the last couple of seasons. But this is Married with Children, and this is all 262 episodes from 11 seasons, all in this one package here from Mill Creek, if I'm not mistaken, and it is, yeah. This show is just kind of the definition of political incorrectness and of a show being of its time. Like, you would not see this stuff on TV today. It is offensive. It is misogynistic. It is, they hate fat people. Like just so much about this is wrong, but oh my gosh, it is so funny. I love it. It's just it again, harkens me back to my childhood. Like, this guy, Al Bundy, reminds me of my grandfather, who is no longer with us. He reminds me of him so much. And I think that's why I like watching this, but like, it's ridiculous. But at the center of all of it, there's still heart to it, which I think is why it works still. But this is just, I understand it's not politically correct, but it is hilarious. And so I will watch this and I will laugh at it the entire time. Like, it is just such a funny show. So had to grab this one. I think this was actually like the first Black Friday pickup I bought, and it was like the first or second week of November. So just ridiculous. And then from the first to the very last, this is actually the last thing I got. This was a Cyber Monday purchase, and this is The Office, the complete series. So all 9 seasons on 38 discs. And this one is actually spread out in between 2 of these here. So yeah, this is just an amazing series that I have not finished yet. So I've watched the first 3 seasons. I think I'm at the start of the 4th season of this. So I have a long ways to go, but they ended up taking it off Netflix. I think it's on, I don't know, Peacock or something, but I hate Peacock. So this is just the way I will watch it. Now, this is available on Blu-ray, but it's like 4 times what I paid for it on Blu-ray, so I don't need it on Blu-ray. Like, the DVDs are going to be completely fine here. This series is just so funny. Literally every episode, I am dying from start to finish, just laughing so hard. Like, it is just so good. So cannot wait to finish this. I need to see where the relationships go, things like that. Like, it's just so good. I need to keep it going. So anyway, The Office, the complete series, is the next one I ended up grabbing, and that's the last DVD I picked up. So now let's jump over to the Blu-rays. The first Blu-ray I grabbed is actually a used one from Disc Replay. When I was getting all those DVDs, I wandered over to the Blu-ray section and found this one here, and I really enjoyed this movie. This was actually one of the first ever episodes of the Cinefessions podcast when me and my buddies were doing that. So that was like, we're talking back in 2012, which almost a decade ago, which kind of just blows my mind. But Spring Breakers, I believe, was our very first one. And then we did The Place Between the Pines, which was awesome with Ryan Gosling. And we did Oblivion with Tom Cruise. So I really like this movie, but I didn't own it on a physical form. I had it digitally, and I just never owned it since then. I really wanted to grab this on 4K because I think it would look really good in that format, but this slipcover, I could not pass up. Look at this thing. It is beautiful. This hologram slipcover here, this lithographic, I don't know. whatever it is. It's amazing, and it looks just so cool. So that's why I ended up getting this on Blu-ray. Did I pay $5 for like a slipcover? I mean, frankly, yes. And so if I can find the 4K cheap, I probably will upgrade at some point, but this slipcover ain't going anywhere because this is amazing. So yes, very excited that I was able to find this slipcover version of Oblivion. So that's the only used Blu-ray I ended up picking up, but I did grab some new ones here. And the first one I'll show, my daughter actually picked this one out. I went over to the movie section with her at Best Buy and she pointed this out because of course it has Mickey on it. So this is a dual pack with Mickey Once Upon a Christmas and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas. So we actually watched these, but I opened it, but in reality, she's watched this on Disney Plus. And so, we have the DVD in here so she can watch it in the car if she wants, but we just haven't done that yet. But she has watched both of these at this point. I really like Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. Twice Upon a Christmas I'd never seen before, but it's actually like an anthology Christmas film. And there is some much different animation. It's like a 3D animation style, but it actually looks really good still. And so I think these are definitely both worth it. Pretty good price on this. Why not grab both of them for the cheap price? So my daughter wanted that one, so I obliged because why wouldn't I? And then while I was there, I also found Pig with Nicolas Cage. So this was really cheap when it came out, so I just bought it brand new because why not if it's a good price? And I've not watched this one yet, but I've heard so many mixed things about it. I am so intrigued to watch it very soon. But like my one buddy just hated it. A couple of my friends here on YouTube and on Instagram and whatnot, they love it. So it's just all over the place. And I've heard it's almost like, I think my buddy described it as like a reverse John Wick. So I don't know what that means, but I'll probably figure it out once I watch it. But yeah, this one, it just looks appealing. Nicolas Cage is one of the greats, so of course I was going to grab this one. So Pig, I bought new, and then I think everything else here is all, yes, everything else is all Black Friday purchases. So first up, we have Escape Room Tournament of Champions. So this is the second movie in the Escape Room series, and my buddy loves these movies. He keeps telling me, watch these films, and I picked up the original recently. I actually bought it. I think I talked about this in one of my pickups a couple months ago. I ended up ordering it off of eBay, used, and it came from Alaska and just took forever to get here. But when this one went down to the Black Friday price, I figured I would grab it. So haven't watched these ones yet, but I'm really looking forward to Escape Room Tournament of Champions. And then a movie that I have wanted for a while. Ever since I've heard about this one, I knew I needed to see it. This is Promising Young Woman. This one actually dropped down to a really good price. I think it was right before Black Friday, a couple days before Thanksgiving. And I've been waiting to get this one. And I actually ordered this from Amazon. It came with the slipcover in great shape, which is so hit and miss nowadays. And so, yeah, I believe this is a revenge film from everything I understand. But that's all I really know about it. And that's all I want to know until I go into it. So, yeah, very excited that I was able to find Promising Young Woman on Blu-ray. These next two are part 1 and part 2 of a series that were on sale on Black Friday, and I'm so glad they both were because they make this incredible image when you stick them together. So this is Batman The Long Halloween part 1 and part 2. Yes, I have been really wanting these, but I didn't want to pay like the whatever 15 or 20 bucks they were when they were new, and so I held off, and I'm glad I did because they were much cheaper. And so with this one, I've read the graphic novel that this is based off of, The Long Halloween, and it is excellent. It is always listed as one of those essential Batman graphic novels for a good reason. It's great. Basically, Batman is trying to hunt down a serial killer. Like, of course, I enjoy that as a true crime junkie. And so, just a really well done graphic novel that I'm hoping is going to, transfer over to Blu-ray or transfer over to a movie. But we'll see here. So very excited to check out Batman The Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2. The last Blu-ray I grabbed is one that honestly I probably should have just held off and waited for the 4K to drop a little bit more, but for the price I figured just get it. Like, I own the entire rest of the series on Blu-ray from this universe, so why not get this one that way as well? This is The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. So I actually missed this one when it was on HBO Max just because I'm a terrible human being, but I do want to see it, and like I said, I own the whole series on Blu-ray, so of course I was getting this one regardless. And actually it's funny because I was watching a video of Miranda's earlier today, and she talked about how she hates having like one format for part of a series and then another format for the rest of the series, and preach on, I hear you. Like, if I would have got this one on 4K, it would have gone into my 4K movies, which are up in my bedroom, and then it wouldn't be in my main movies down here on the Blu-ray shelf. And so that would have just bugged me. So I figured just go with the Blu-ray, save like whatever it was, 10, 15 bucks, and stick with the Blu-ray for this one. But anyway, I have bucked that trend at various points. That's just kind of something silly that made me think of that because Miranda happened to bring it up tonight. But anyway, Conjuring 3, I know this is the kind of the weakest link in the series according to virtually everybody, but who knows? Maybe it'll be my favorite when I watch it. I have no idea. I love these movies, so I'm hoping I will at least enjoy this one, even if it's not a favorite. So that is the last Blu-ray I ended up grabbing. So now let's jump over to all the 4K discs I picked up. Speaking of series, I do have the entire Fast and the Furious saga on 4K already, and that came out before F9 did, and so I grabbed Fast 9, or Fast and the Furious 9, F9, whatever you call this. I grabbed this one on 4K as well. It was down real cheap on Black Friday, and so yeah, and it has the slipcover with it. Another one, actually, this one I actually picked up from Walmart, and it was from a third-party seller on Walmart, I believe, but still came in excellent shape with a slip, so that's always exciting. So F9, the Fast saga on 4K. And then one that I've been wanting to pick up since it came out. I actually wanted the Steelbook for this, but the Steelbook didn't go on sale. This one did. This is Gakka. So this is a movie that I remember watching when I was in science class. Like, maybe it was biology? I don't know, in 10th grade is what is like stuck in my head. And I really enjoyed it when I watched it then, but I don't remember much of it other than the fact that I enjoyed it. And so because of that, I wanted to give this one another shot and add it to my collection. So I grabbed Gakka. And then one that I hear is just excellent especially in 4K, but just supposed to be a great movie altogether. This is Love and Monsters. And this is a post-apocalyptic story, but it's like a love story. This guy is essentially trying to seek out his high school crush, I believe, who is somewhere else in the city that has been overtaken by monsters. And so I love post-apocalyptic films, and if they mix in the comedy and these romance elements well, I'll probably enjoy this one as well. So Love and Monsters on 4K, and I always hear that this is one of the top 4K releases of the year, so hopefully I will agree. Oh, speaking of ones where I bucked the trend and grabbed the first one on Blu-ray and then the second one on 4K, Don't Breathe 2. So this one, the reason I did grab the 4K on this is because it was like a $2 price difference, and I would be stupid if I ended up buying, because I have the original on Blu-ray, if I ended up spending $2 less to get it on Blu-ray just to have them side by side in my collection. This is going to give me the better quality, and eventually I'm sure all of my 4Ks and my Blu-rays will probably be in together at some point, so I don't know why I even worry about that. But anyway, I grabbed Don't Breathe 2. The first movie is fantastic. Like, it is just a phenomenal, tense, crazy horror film. I love it. And so I am very interested to see what they're going to do with this second one here, because I don't know that it needed a sequel, but since they have one, I'll watch it and see how it is. So Don't Breathe 2, I'm hoping it is at least half as good as the original, but we shall see. And then I grabbed a movie that, while I like this movie, I don't love it, but the reason I wanted it on 4K is because I think it's going to look awesome given the colors of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So again, I don't dislike this movie by any stretch. I quite enjoy it when I watch it. It's not a favorite of mine. I know a lot of people love this movie from their childhood. My wife, I believe, is a big fan of this one, but myself, it's fine. It's a good movie, not something I'm obsessed with, but given that this had this 4K release recently and it dropped down in price, I figured I would give it a shot because I'm sure it's going to look great. Now, I don't remember if this one has Dolby Vision, but I'm thinking it doesn't. I want to say it's just HDR10, but I'm not seeing anything on here that says one way or the other. I don't see it, so I'm going to assume it's HDR10. But either way, I'm sure this one is still going to look really cool. And I've watched a lot of reviews on it. It's supposed to be just a really good disc, so that one should be really fun. Oh, here's another one where I bought the 4K when I have the rest of the series on Blu-ray. So I don't know. It's just in my head, I shouldn't do that, but clearly I did that twice during this sale, Black Friday. This is the Forever Purge, and this is I think the last movie in the Purge franchise. I think I've seen everything except this one and the one right before it. I can't remember. So I've seen the first 3 or 4, however many there are in this series. And I love this series. It is one of my favorite series. So I am very excited to finally finish this up and see how this one is. But yeah, the Forever Purge on 4K. I wish it didn't have that Movies Anywhere logo on the top because it just ruins the aesthetic that they're going for. But it is what it is. And then finally here we have, actually, nope, not finally, there's one more after this, but this is The Green Knight on 4K. Another one, super divisive. Some people have loved this movie, others thought it was just dreadful. So I had to see it though. Watching the trailers, it looks like my type of film. It looks like this big fantasy epic. It looks really good. And so, yeah, I love this slipcover. It is so minimalistic to a point, and just looks awesome. And so yeah, very happy to have this one with the slip, which looks gorgeous. So yeah, intrigued to see if this one is any good or not. And then finally, the last one here, which I've heard is just like the best disc of 2021, and I was able to find it on the Steelbook. This is Godzilla vs. Kong. Finally, I've wanted this one since it released because the reviews have been so good for this 4K disc. And so when it went on sale, this was actually a little bit before Black Friday, this dropped down in price. And so first time I actually saw it in stores, I actually saw this and the Justice League Steelbook, but I did pass on the Justice League one because I already owned it. But this one I didn't, and so I picked this one up, and I am so happy to have this in my collection. You can see the front of the Steelbook art there. I should open these when I do this, but I didn't think about it, and now it's too late. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'm sure this Steelbook looks awesome on the back too, but yeah, very happy to add this one to the collection. A very cool ad. So Godzilla vs. Kong on 4K Steelbook, and that is everything that I've grabbed recently here in the month of November. All right, so I'll hold up the 4K and the Blu-ray discs. That's just a little bit easier, but yeah, just tons of stuff during this Black Friday season, I guess we'll call it. And I know a lot of these things, like you've probably seen on other YouTubers' channels, because everyone was pretty much buying all the 4K discs that came out this year, because frankly, outside of Best Buy, there wasn't a ton of excellent sales. I know Amazon had like their buy two, get one going on to match Target's buy two, get one, but Target didn't even have their like sale racks out like they always do, because they were just doing buy two get one. So it is what it is. It's just, I read an article the other day that said like Blu-ray sales are down like 75% versus 6 years ago or something like that. And it's like, well, yeah, they're probably down this year because there wasn't a ton of great sales. So I kind of see that. Like the big chains, Walmart, garbage. They had very little this year in terms of Blu-ray and 4K, so I can see why those sales might have been down a little bit. But anyway, I'm ranting again, but let me know down in the comments below what you guys ended up grabbing last month, whether it's a collectible, some movies, video games, anything. Let me know what you grabbed. I'd love to hear your pickups, and let me know what I should prioritize here to the top of the list. You guys always hook me up with some great recommendations, so thank you for all those comments. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give this one a like down below. That really does help me out. Any engagement you guys do, whether it's leave a comment or like the video, dislike it if you want, that's totally fine too. Anything you guys do helps get this video seen by more eyes, so I really do appreciate that. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it movies, collectibles, video games, books, manga, graphic novels. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Hope you guys didn't mind this one a little different, because I just am not feeling the best, and so I feel like my mind is all over the place, but hopefully that was okay. But anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.